Hello, everyone. My name is Caleb Romero. I'm a student at Cypress College, currently pursuing an associate's degree in cyber defense with plans to pursue a bachelor's degree shortly after. I decided to undertake this project of virtualizing a small network to apply the theory that I'm learning in the classroom and to gain practical hands-on experience and to understand this industry a little bit better. With that said, I'll go right into the configurations, starting with Hyper-V. I have three virtual machines running my pfSense router and two PCs, PC1 and PC2. They are connected using a TP-Link external switch, which is cabled to my wireless access point and my physical host. My internal switch for pfSense LAN allows pfSense to connect to PC1, PC2, them to connect to each other, and for them to gain internet. Moving on into my switch configuration, I configured it to have a static IP address to make sure that everything is easy and simple for the management interface. The default gateway is correctly set to my LAN interface. And I decided to mess around with VLANs a little bit. Even though Hyper-V does not support it, I wanted to gain some understanding of what it would look like to configure, to configure a VLAN. I've set the default VLAN to be on an unused port 8. My LAN VLAN is trunked on port 1 and on ports 2 through 2, 5 through 7 to simulate that if I wanted to add more devices and I had the software that supported VLANs and multiple VLANs, I would be able to do it with some more configuration adjustments. And pfSense WAN, same thing, trunked on port 1. Ports 3 and 4 are on this VLAN. And I am cabled on ports 3 and 4 of my switch. My wireless access point is on port 4. My physical host is on port 3. And for the PVIDs, I've set 3 and 4 to be the appropriate PVID of 20, while the rest are default since I haven't configured other VLANs and there's no other devices on there. But again, this configuration was really just to gain an idea of what configuring a VLAN and multiple VLANs would look like. Moving on into pfSense, I have my interfaces up and running. Their IP addresses are appropriate. And I didn't change too much on pfSense since I'm not too familiar with firewalls and I'm still trying to learn more about firewalls, IDS and IPS systems, things like that. So I didn't want to mess around with that too much just because I don't understand it too much. But with that said, I did change the, let's see, where do I go? I did change the default administrator account. I disabled the default one with default credentials and created a new administrative user with a simple username, simple password. Obviously, in the real world, the passwords and usernames would have to be different and more complex. But for this lab, I just wanted to keep everything simple. So I chose a simple password of like 1234 and admin 1 as the username. But again, I understand that those things would have to be different and more complex in the real world. I also went into the firewall rules. I did not change anything for the WAN. All of this came default. But for the LAN, I disabled the allow LAN to any rule. Instead, I changed the rule from the default, which was LAN to WAN address. I changed it from LAN to any. And that allows me to connect to the internet. If I want to go to Google Docs, if I want to go to Amazon, and this is also available on my second PC. So I know my system is accurate and available for multiple hosts, for a bunch of different websites, all these different things. And to make sure that my IP addresses of my PCs fall within the DHCP server scope, 192.168.20.3. And I can't type. 192.168.20.4. It does fall within the default gateway network, which is correct. Now going back into pfSense, there's only one other thing that I changed, and that was installing Suricata. And again, I don't know too much about firewalls or IDS, IPS systems, but I just wanted to start getting familiar with these things, know what they look like, know what the alerts look like, what they mean, things like that, just to get my feet wet with understanding these systems. I did not configure this to be a IPS system, intrusion prevention. I only have it configured as the intrusion detection. Again, just to keep things simple. And that's it. That's my project. I've successfully virtualized a network on my PC and isolated it from my home network to make sure that my home network doesn't get congested and things like that. So I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching.